Okay, welcome to Fancy Crafts. I am doing another frog and it's a request from a friend. I'm hoping that this is gonna look right. She wanted like pinks and purples, stuff like that, and I picked this to put down in. I've already pre-cut it, but I'm just not sure about the eyes, but we're still gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, so I have these already glued in, or with the UV resin. They're not glued, but it's UV resin. And I am just gonna go ahead and get the eyes done and put them in place. All right, I have marked the back where the white is, and I'm just gonna set it down in, let's see. And I want to make sure that this is, and I'm sorry about the light, guys, shining up on you. All right, let me go ahead. I just want to make sure it's good and in there. All right, and then I will do the other eye, and it's marked as well. All right, let me go ahead and get this one in there as well. And then I am just gonna lay this down in this tray. I'll fix it here in a minute. It just helps if I have to move it around or something like that. Easier to sit down in this little tray that I've got. Okay. So let me get him just set in there the way I want him. And I've got a little bit of sparkly from trying to make sure that this was in there right. And I'm just gonna kind of sweep down in his legs a little bit. Okay, so that is done. I've got his eyes where I want them. And I mixed up 50 grams of A and 45 grams of B. And I am just going to dump this down in, whoops, before I do that, all right, I'm gonna take my silicone spray and I'm gonna just spray the inside of the frog. And down in his feet and everything. Okay, so I did that. That just helps with the mold release on him so that it's not ripping your mold. It's heat stable silicone release agent. Okay, so I did that. I just didn't want it sticking down in there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and dump this in. And I'll use this whole amount. And then once this sets up, I'll come back and lay the piece of cardstock paper, I guess is what you would call it. I'm not sure what you call those. But anyways, it's like cardstock paper. It's just colored. I'll come back and lay that down in there. Okay, so I have that set down in. And I am going to be very careful using my torch on this because I don't want it sticking to the mold. I got just what I could with it. Like I said, I don't want it sticking to the mold. Gosh, look, I have all these torches just laying around. Need to pick them up. Okay. So I have that. And I will be back just in a little while. Like I said, once that sets up, it shouldn't take too long to do this part of it. And I will catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, I am back. So I took and I went ahead and trimmed this a little bit more so that it'll fit down in there better. And I'm going to actually just trim this side just a little bit more on that because I want it to be able to lay flat down in there just like that. So I'm going to go ahead. It's right where I need it to be. And I have the point here for its head. So I have 25 grams of A and 22 grams of B. I don't need a whole lot for this, but I am going to take this navy alcohol ink and I'm just going to put one dropper in that just to tint it a little bit. I don't want to tint it a whole lot. Just enough for it to look a little more clear. Let me mix this up really good so there's no streaks. And I will show you what I'm talking about. And that's what it looks like, but let me show you on a baby wipe. It's barely even blue. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to just spray the inside of the frog with alcohol ink. And I am just going to dump some down in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and push it up to its head and then back and just make sure that it's leveled. And then I am just going to go ahead and set this down in and get it set right where I want it. I'm going to move it back and forth a little just so that there are no bubbles getting underneath of it. And then I will dump the rest of this in. So that it just helps weigh down that colorful cardstock. And that is pretty much all that will do. And then I'll just clean my stick up. And I am just going to use the alcohol ink or alcohol spray again. just to make sure it's down in there. And I got it set just right where I want it. And there you have that. I'll let that set up, and then I will be back to do the next coat after this all sets up. And I'm not sure exactly what colors I'm going to use. I will figure that out for that when I come back to you guys. But there you guys have it. That is it. And I will catch you guys in a bit. Okay, I am back. All right, so I mixed up 100 grams of A and 90 grams of B. And I am just going to put some in a little Dixie cup. And I am going to be using this indigo blue and the blue violet is what I'm going to be using. I don't want a whole lot of the blue violet, so I am just taking a little bit of it with a decent scoop of the indigo blue, which is it's gonna just be purple. I don't know why they call it blue, but I say it's more purple. And that's what you have. So I will mix that up really good. And then I am going to take some of this mica powder. It's a little bit on the bright side of green, and I don't want it too bright, so I'm just using a little bit of it. And then I am going to use this green here. It's a little bit darker. I gotta open it up. Hold on a minute. And it's just a little bit darker of a green. And I did 2 scoops of it. And I think that'll be pretty good. Wipe up my mess here. And that pretty much is what it looks like. Okay, I am just gonna go back and forth on this. Until I get it filled up to where I want it. And then I will use the rest of that green and then finish the purple off. Okay, so I have that. And the rest of the purple, I'm just gonna throw right down in the center and kind of give it a swirl. Okay. And like I said, just give this kind of a swirl around his legs and all of that. And I'll clean up my mess. And then I will just let this dry up. And then I will be back to do more, probably of the same colors. I'm just kind of undecided yet if I want to do the same. I'm actually going to do this with alcohol instead of using my torch because I don't want it going to the side of the frog. So anyways, there is that. And like I said, I will be back to finish the rest of this little guy up after this part sets up. Because this is a fairly deep mold, and I don't want it to fast cure. That's why I'm doing it in steps. But I will be back in a while. Okay, I am back for the final step. It is right at that point. It's still a little bit tacky, but I still can do it. So I did 50 grams of A, 45 grams of B, and I mixed it good. And I am just gonna go ahead and get started here. I grabbed me a baby wipe, and I am going to do the indigo blue, which is purple in my eyes. At least that's what it looks like to me. Okay, and I'll mix that up really good here in just a minute. I am going to use the pigment paste white, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 of those. And I am also going to put a little bit of this white in to give it a shimmery look. Okay, so, all right, I've got the purple mixed. Now I'll just do the white. All right, so we have the white. I am going to go ahead and do the purple. And then I'm going to do white. and then purple. Kind of back and forth with it a little bit. Really hoping I have enough and I don't have to mix anymore. Okay, so it's filling up nicely. I'm just going to push the rest of the white down in. Okay, now it looks like it's filling into the toes pretty good, but I am just gonna help it along, and I'm gonna use this little tool here and kind of push some up and into the toes, gently without breaking the seal from the UV resin. And the same with these little feet. Okay, it looks like we've got it. So sorry, guys. For whatever reason, I've had a cough tonight, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. And this here, I'm just going to swirl the white around a little bit and up and into his feet. All right, I think that will do it. I think that'll work just perfectly, and I'm gonna let it be at that. And I will let this set up for a little bit, and I will demold it sometime in the morning once it sets up good. And there you guys have it. I'm glad I chose the purple and white on this. with the purple and green just to change up the feet a little bit on it. But I'm pretty pleased with it. Very pleased. And I actually, if I can do this, I'm going to raise his head just a little bit to kind of level that out a little bit better than what it was. The same with his back feet. And I think that's pretty good. We're going to leave it as is. And I'll catch you in the morning. Okay, good morning. This is ready. So I'm going to remove the tray so that you guys can all see. And it's set up really nicely. Now all I got to do is just get his little feet out. I'll have to twist and turn and do everything I can just to get his little feet out of there. Okay. This is the hard part for me on this mold. Okay. Hold on, I'm taking them away for a minute. Okay, now let me get his other feet, because I don't want to rip my mold. Very easy to pop out once you get it out of there. And then his head. All right, and just flip them back over. Okay, so this is the bottom. Oh, if I can get whatever is on his little foot right there. Okay, got it. Okay, got a little bit of cleanup to do, not bad. And it's peeling right off. Okay, so let's see how it goes. All right, there's his eyes. And they worked out pretty good. Oh my goodness, look how pretty he is. Just absolutely gorgeous. So let me bring this closer. And he's got some bubbles in there, but I think it makes him look pretty cool. I actually like it that way, I believe. So, but yeah, there you have it. I'm very happy with him. I think he turned out very nice. All right, we'll catch you later. Bye.